Hey there, I'm Belle. I started a book blog in November 2016, and when I was deciding whether or not I should make a book blog, I would watch other blog posts to see whether or not I should make one. And so I thought that I would make a video about why you should make a book blog, just in case anyone watching is on the fence like I was. I have no idea how organized this video will be. I wrote down a bunch of bullet points, but I hope that it will make sense in the end. So I thought that I would start off with the reasons why I personally wanted to make a book blog. And so the first reason was that I wanted to talk about books, like a lot of people who want to start a book blog. A lot of people don't have someone they can talk about books with in real life, and I personally am lucky enough to have friends who do read a lot actually. But more than just talking about books, I wanted to be able to form complete opinions about them, like really get in depth and think about the writing and like the characters and all that kind of stuff, and have a space that was so dedicated to that. So my second reason for starting a blog was to work on my writing. And I'm not trying to be like a writer or like an author or anything. I just felt like in school, the hardest assignments for me were always like essays or free response questions on like tests. And it's because I have a really hard time converting my thoughts into words and also writing. So I figured that talking about books on like my own personal blog would be a good way to practice writing. And the third reason I wanted to start a blog was because I kind of wanted to make a booktube channel, but I wasn't comfortable enough talking to the camera and like showing my face. And also back then and up until very recently, my living situation wasn't the most conducive to making videos. So I figured that a book blog would be a good start for me to talk about books and like work on my writing and all that stuff until the timing was right for me to start this channel. So what are some things that I learned / gained from blogging? The first and absolute best thing that I gained from book blogging is access to an open-minded book community. Everyone I've interacted with in the book blogging community is very civil and wants to like learn and talk, and so because of that, I always also feel like my opinions are valid and have weight, even if they're unpopular or I'm disagreeing with somebody. I think one of the best things that I've discovered about the book blogging community is that book discussions are a big part of its culture. That might sound dumb to people, but before I started my book blog, and even when I was starting my book blog, I thought that it would just be like a place for book reviews, because the book blogging community is really into like picking apart different types of tropes and analyzing certain themes in books. I find that I'm thinking more in a way that I thought that I wouldn't be thinking about books. So working on my own blog post and interacting with other bloggers online has really helped me work on communicating through writing, which like I mentioned was one of the things that I really wanted to work on. And so like a very random thing that I've gained from blogging is that I feel very comfortable sending like formal emails because I've gotten so used to interacting with people like on a screen and through text. One of the best things about blogging to me is how casual it is. I don't ever have to worry about looking semi-presentable to like film a video or something. I can write posts at my pace. So if I'm working on a discussion or a book review, I can be working on it for like a week or a month and no one would ever know it when I post it. Blogging has definitely helped me with time management, especially with work and school. If I had an idea for a blog post, I would sort of schedule my whole day around being able to write that post eventually. So it helped me get things done that way. Another great thing about blogging is that it's free. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you probably have some type of phone or computer and internet connection. And as long as you have those things, you can blog from anywhere. And while we're sort of on the topic of money, one thing that people will say is a con about book blogging is that you can't really make money from it. There's so many book bloggers and it's just impossible for all of us to be able to be making money from this. Because of that, I think most book bloggers already know that they won't be making money from it. And so book blogging is purely just a hobby and something that you can work on when you come back from school or from work where you're doing things that you don't really want to do, but because you need to do them in order to make money. And so book blogging is a really nice way to care about the things that you love and are passionate about without you feeling like you're doing it in hopes of a paycheck. So I kind of mentioned how book blogging is great for talking about things you're passionate about. I just wanted to highlight that point to say that book blog is never just limited to books. Sure, you might be thinking about starting it because you just want to talk about books, and most people who read and follow your blog will probably also be book bloggers. But if at any point you want to talk about anything that's not books, your book blog is a space that you can do that. And I would say that 90% of the time, people are curious to hear about your other interests or your life outside of books. So for me personally, because I don't always talk about books on my book blog, I find that it's a nice way for me to document my life, because now I can go back and read posts from like 3 years ago and see how much progress I've made in my writing, and also think about how much has changed in terms of my reading taste, or what TV shows I was interested in certain stages of my life, or just random situations that have happened in my life that I completely forgot about, but I included as a little side note in a blog post. So it's been really nice to have all of that to look back on. So those are all the points that I have on whether you should make a book blog or not. I think the last thing I would say is that if you're on the fence about it, I would just do it. I don't think you have much to lose except for maybe time and like a few brain cells trying to think of what to post. I really think there's much more to gain by making this book blog if you're interested in doing it. Truly, if you ever want to do anything in your life, you should just do it. Within reason. If you made it this far, feel free to add me on Goodreads or on Twitter, and all of that stuff I'll leave down below. If you found this video helpful at all, feel free to share and tell me what you think about my points. Thank you for watching.